Hello, my fellow mathletes. Root Beer here, wishing you well. And I hope you're as excited as I am to look at question number 4 on our Cayley paper. The value of -1 cubed plus -1 squared plus -1 is... Okay. So some of you might know the shortcut when it comes to powers of -1. Okay. -1 to any odd power is always -1. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You could just say, well, -1 to the power of 3 is -1 times -1 times -1. Grab your calculator or work it out by hand, but you're going to get -1. -1 to the 5, -1 to the 7, -1 to the power of 77. If it's an odd power, you get -1. Why is that? Well, if I'm writing out multiple copies of -1, 2 of them together always equal a 1. And if you multiply by a series of 1s, nothing changes. But if you've got an odd number of them, you'll really have 1, 1, 1, 1, and you'll have one -1 left over. And so your whole answer will just be -1. And if you've got an even number of them, then they all pair up. So this -1 to the power of 2, we could work it out, or we could say, well, -1 to an even number. We'll even write it down. -1 to an odd is -1. -1 to an even power is always 1. So we've got -1 plus 1 plus -1. -1 plus 1 is 0, plus another -1 gives us our answer of -1. Okay? And that's going to be D, and that's exactly what will bubble in. And then we will flip the page to get ourselves ready for question number 5.